I say we jamming to the songs of the Caribbean. We grooving to calypso and steel band. This jam go be Irie. It's one love, so feel free. For we are the people of the Caribbean, showing that we don't want no basin plan.
A Caribbean connection, a regional vibration.
I say we jamming to the songs of the Caribbean. We grooving to calypso and steel band. Getting together, so should every leader. For we are one people, one destination. So let us move on without
Pleasant good afternoon to
hesitation.
you. You're listening to the Caribbean Connection Radio Show with Mike Andrews. 3 minutes after 12 o'clock on a Saturday afternoon. This is the most versatile show on the radio. The Caribbean Connection Radio Show. Jam into the songs of the Caribbean.
We grooving.
Groove into Calypso and Steel Band from now until 3 o'clock. Taking over from Don, Rosie, and Cleve. Rosie back in the studio after, 3-4 months? Wow. Three more days, folks. 3 more days. Something's gonna shake. Don't know which branch of the tree will be shaking, but something's gonna shake. You voted already, Rosie? Yeah, I did that. Who hasn't voted? That's a question. Who is waiting for Tuesday? Who hasn't voted?
The venue is Tobago, and it's going to be a grand show.
Today is the last day in the month of October, October 31st,
Up when
2020.
go jam up,
Some people say they want a do-over of 2020. Some people say they want to fast forward to 2021.
I say we jamming to
Been a
the
rough kind of year, 2020, right?
we grooving to calypso.
Could it get worse? Of course. Is it going to get better? Eventually. How long it stays depends on a lot of things. What we do, what others do, what Mother Nature decides to do. Who knows? Folks, we're going to take you on a musical adventure throughout the Caribbean Islands right here on WNMA, Caribbean Connection Radio Show, live on 1210theman.com, 1210 on the AM dial, and also live, feeding live on YouTube. We've got a musical mix for you this Saturday afternoon to bring the smile to the lips and movement to the hips. Caribbean Connection Radio Show. Come on, Soca, my love.
If you know how long I see you feeling happy. Soca honey, carnival in the city, and the soca music jamming high. Bacchanal in TMT, everybody wants to get on by. Jamming all day, jamming all night. You and I hugging up tight, tight, tight. Feeling okay, feeling alright. You and I dancing away the night. Come and soca, my love, come and soca. I want to see you shake up, shake up. I want to see you shake. Come and soca, my love, come and soca. I want to see you wind up, wind up. I want to see you wind. Hey, get that. Hey, I know you can move your sexy body to the rhythm like a time bomb. I know you could jump up and run steady in your pom-pom when the time comes. Every day in this country should be like a super holiday. And I say, let us party when the soca music starts to play. Jamming the beat, jamming it twice. You and I jamming in paradise. Feeling sweet, sweet, feeling nice, nice. You and I willing to pay the price. Come and soca, my love, come and soca. I want to see you dancing, dancing. I want to see you dance. Come and soca, my love, come and soca. I want to see you prancing, prancing. I want to see you prance. Hey, get it. Till I day, do 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 day. Yeah, yeah. to the chorus part now. Again. Session of family wine, so my friend tell me they want to go, but this party animal leaving till morning come. Jump up till morning, hands up till morning, pants up, and never stop till morning. Jump up till morning, hands up till morning, and never stop till morning. The dance floor still rum, it's 5 in the morning. House lights turn on and posse still dancing. People like super acoustic on the floor. Tomorrow night we will do it once more. Of course, jump up till morning, come on, and never stop, never stop. Now jump up till morning, hands up till morning, pants up, and never. So the last time now we sing the session of family wine. So my friend tell me them want to go, but this party animal leaving till morning come. Oh no, 'cause we go jump up till morning, hands up till morning, pants up, and never stop, never stop. Jump up till morning, till morning, and never stop. Oh my God,
That's the sound of Rupee there for you. Jump up till morning.
gotta be back here tonight.
Before that, you heard the Baron. Come and soak in my love. 13 minutes after 12 o'clock. WNMA Caribbean Connection Radio Show with Mike Andrews. Here with you until 3 o'clock. Keep it locked right here at 12:10 a.m. 1210theman.com and also feeding live on YouTube. We'll be back after we share this information with you.
Rice and peas, gungo peas and rice, pilau, stew peas, pigeon pea soup, or arroz de gandules. Whichever one is your favorite, pigeon peas and coconut milk are two of the main ingredients. The Jamaican country style green pigeon peas and coconut milk comes all mixed together in one convenient can. Just open and add to the pot. No shelling of peas, no grating of coconut, everything in one can. Pigeon peas is a good source of protein, fiber, and other important vitamins. And the JCS green pigeon peas and coconut milk is simply the best tasting one on the market. When you go shopping, look for the JCS green pigeon peas and coconut milk, available at major grocery stores and Caribbean outlets. You can order online or get recipes at jcskitchen.com. You just can't do without the Jamaican country style green pigeon peas in coconut milk. Distributed by Kingston Miami Trading Company.
A job's about a lot more than a paycheck. It's about your dignity. Under my plan, 50% of emergency small business relief would be reserved for the smallest businesses to recover from the economic mess we're in and to rebuild the economic future our country deserves. We can't just build back to what it was before. We have to build back better. If we truly want to reward the work in this country, we have to ease the financial burdens of care that families are carrying. To start, every 3 and 4-year-old child gets access to free high-quality preschool, and low and middle-income families won't spend more than 7% of their income on child care for children under the age of 5. Advancing racial equity across the American economy. Building wealth for families of color. Building a future worthy of their courage and their ambition. Just imagine if we could truly unleash their full potential. I'm confident we can do this. I'm Joe Biden, candidate for president, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Biden for president.
I'm Desmond Meade, and I led the effort to restore voting rights to people with previous felony convictions. People like me. Let's be honest. How many times we've heard or said, "I die for mines," or "I fight for mines," when we talk about protecting our children's or loved ones? If you're willing to fight or die for the ones you love, why not be willing to vote for the one you love? This election, your life and the lives of your loved one hangs in the balance. Don't believe me? Ask the family of Ahmaud Arbery, George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, or Trayvon Martin. Early voting has started, and there is no time to wait. Come out and vote for yours, and join me as I vote for mine. I love my family, and they deserve my vote. Text FREE TV to 82623 to join me and other returning citizens on Saturday, October 24th, as we go to the polls to vote for our lives and our loved ones. This is our moment. This is our vote, and now it's our time.
Paid political advertisement paid for by Florida Rights Restoration Coalition. Project of Times Advocacy. 4081 LB McLeod Road, Suite C, Orlando, Florida 32811. Independent of any candidate, not
authorized by the candidate or candidates committee.
Ring the alarm. Your vote is needed now. Make sure your voice is heard. Come out and vote today. No rain, heat, and turmoil should keep you from the polls. Join our 20 for 20 movement and reach out to 20 friends and family and make sure that they all vote. Make sure your voices are heard for this election. Paid for by the New Florida Majority Fund.
Justice, equality, accountability. These are the values we need in our leaders to bring us together and be the America we know we can be. Joe Biden and Kamala Harris are those leaders. Joe Biden has the experience to fix our broken economy. He's done it before, and he'll do it again. And our own Kamala Harris is ready to lead. As senator, she championed education, healthcare, criminal justice reform, and a just immigration policy. With Joe Biden and Kamala Harris in charge, we know the White House will be accountable to and work with our community for our well-being. For 4 years, our country has been failed by this administration's incompetence and corruption, but we have the chance to turn it around with values that are rooted in our common goals and shared humanity. Vote early for Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. Paid for by Black PAC and Unite the Country. BlackPAC.com and UniteTheCountry.com, which are responsible for the content of this advertising. Not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee.
Well, you still have today and tomorrow to do early voting. Early voting finishes tomorrow. After that, you have to wait until Tuesday, which is election day, and then you have to go to your specific precinct to vote. For today and tomorrow, you can go to any precinct in the county that you are in, and you can cast your vote there. You have until 7 o'clock p.m., and then after tomorrow, you go Tuesday to your precinct to cast your vote. I think a lot of us have voted already, early voting. Some of us done voting by mail. We see that there are some hiccups with the voting by mail system. You saw yesterday on the news that in a particular post office, a bunch of mails that were kind of like just got lost on the side there. So a lot of concern about that. But anyway, a lot of us voted in person. Early voting, went to a particular precinct and did our voting there. Some of us dropped off the vote by mail to a particular box, which was a little bit safer. But anyway, we have 3 more days to go before the election. Very heated election. Lots of things at stake. Lots of ads. Even on this program, you hear all the ads, and you watch TV. Every other commercial, back to back to back, is political ad, So this is a time when the politicians are trying to get your vote, trying to sway your voice, swing it from whatever way you may be leaning before. By this time, I don't think that there's anybody who might be undecided, although they might be. You never know. And it's a foregone conclusion because for a lot of people, many people have already casted their vote. Record numbers this year, early voting, so they voted already. So can't change their mind now. But those people who are hanging and waiting and seeing, I don't know, waiting for something to happen that would change their mind or make up their mind as to who they're going to vote for. It's 3 more days. And then after that, the bacchanal begins. Hopefully not. Hopefully it would be a victory in such numbers that there's no dispute. Don't have to depend on the Supreme Court to make a decision or the electoral voices, the different people that could determine. So hopefully the decision will be a decisive one, that there's no room for dispute. We'll see what happens. It's Tuesday, 3 more days away, election day. Today, we're going to party as usual. We're going to dance. I'm here on my lonesome self. Narissa isn't here today. So you're going to hear my voice and my music. We have news coming your way at 1 o'clock, latest news coming out of the Caribbean. And I've been following the COVID numbers as it pertains to the Caribbean ever since it started. I think I'm the only source where you get this thing pertaining to the Caribbean. And according to my tabulations, as of today, the 15-member CARICOM countries have recorded 43,805 confirmed positive cases. That's the CARICOM countries, 15-member CARICOM countries, which include Haiti and Suriname. All right? It doesn't include the Dominican Republic. So they have 43,805 positive cases and 992 deaths. Not alarming numbers. A couple of the islands in there have some high numbers, but not alarming when you compare to Latin America, which has alarming. Latin America is one of the highest regions in the world in terms of confirmed cases, and we're talking about Brazil and Mexico, Guatemala, and all those places. One of the highest regions in the world, Latin America. But CARICOM, Caribbean, not that bad. I'll give you details on some of the numbers as we go to the news at 1 o'clock. All right? That's coming up at 1. Make sure and keep it locked here on WNMA. You can listen to us online at 1210theman.com. We are on the air 1210 a.m. in South Florida. And, of course, YouTube. I hope the YouTube is feeling. I'm on YouTube here. Hello to my YouTube viewers. You can watch me or you can just listen to me. Getting you back to the music here. Get some nice music lined up for you today. I'm going to mix it up nice. I always do. You know, and usually I select a theme sometimes where the entire program is based on a particular theme. Every now and then I may have a little segments, and it's just mixing up nice. Kind of, keep you engaged with the music I select and play, but all to make you happy and dance and think and whatnot. So let's go to our music. We go now to Montserrat, which is part of CARICOM, by the way. Montserrat is. And the late Mighty Arrow, Alphonsus Cassell. Telephone numbers in the studio here. Well, the number 786-359-4756. 786-359-4756. Or you can always contact me by text, 305-527-7664. Send me a text. If you want to hear a song, send out a greeting, 305-527-7664. One of my favorites, the Groove Master.
Everybody groove, let your body move. Swing left, swing right, do it now, you feel alright. Keep on grooving, keep on grooving, keep on grooving, keep on grooving. Everybody groove, let your body move. Everybody groove, let your body move. Shooby bye 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 dibby bye bye. Keep on grooving, keep on grooving. Shooby bye 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 dibby bye bye. Keep on grooving, keep on grooving. Check it out, Rick is on the mic and Giz is on the right. When we come into the place, we groove day or night. 'Cause hours on the fly and the groove is on the rise. So watch as here we go. Come on, swing your body low. Mr. Music Man, what's your party plan? Mr. Music Man, what's your party plan? I said keep on grooving, keep on grooving, keep on grooving, ha, keep on grooving. Check it out, the party's over here, groove master over there. Go on, move your body right now, jump up in the air. Go on, move your body left until you lose your breath. Go on, shake your body down. Groove master's in your town.
Good afternoon to some of my early callers, Miss Antoinette. She's locked in as usual. Every Saturday she locks in. My good friend from Tobago, Miss Antoinette. How you doing today? Hope everything is all right. And Millie said, Mike, my day has just started and you've already made my day. This is one of my favorite tunes, she said. Reminds me of a time in Canada when man was dancing to this tune and had everyone on the floor looking at him. That reminds me of a doctor we had here called by the name of Emo. He was African, but he went to every soca party, and I don't think Emo sat for one song. Every song he was out there dancing. I remember Emo. You remember Emo? Dr. Emo? The Groove Master here by the Arrow, WNMA Caribbean Connection Radio Show. Shout out to all my YouTube listeners, viewers, and online at 1210theman.com. Especially those listeners we have out of town, my out of towners that tune in regularly every Saturday. And if the music gets you sweet, all you have to do is just jam it in the corner. Close your eyes. Hold on to your loved one and jam it in the corner. Burning flames here.
push it back in. Turn it around and push it back in. Turn it around and push it back in. Boy, the water running, boy, the water running, boy, the water running, boy, the water running. Boy, when she turn it on, it start vibrating. A whole set of noise, the pipe start making. I push and I pull, I last and no sweat. You ain't finished yet, she don't give me neck. She want me pull it out and turn it around, pull it out and turn it around, pull it out and turn it around, pull it out and turn it around and push it back in, turn it around and push it back in, turn it around and push it back in, turn it around and push it back in. Boy, the water running, boy, the water running, boy, the water running, boy, the water running. Boy, do something. Boy, 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 oh gosh, boy, boy, hit it. Boy, finally it came out. She started to shout. If you hear the words coming from she mouth. Won't you hurry up and push it back in? Can't you see the water is still running? She want me to pull it out and turn it around, pull it out and turn it around, pull it out and turn it around, pull it out and turn it around. So I turn it around and push it back in, turn it around and push it back in, turn it around and push it back in, turn it around and push it back in. Whoa, the water running.
Oh boy, and after you jam it in the corner, what do? You turn it around and push it back in. Oh my gosh. What suggestive lyrics from these two songs, huh? You jam it in the corner, then you turn it around and push it back in. Naughty me on a Saturday afternoon, October 31st. Halloween! I tell you, boy. Halloween, boy. Christmas is almost here. That's Andy Blood Armstrong together with Square One out of Barbados. So the lineup of tunes we had this morning, we had Trinidad. Yeah. We had Antigua, we have Montserrat, and we had Barbados. Now we're going to share some information with you and be back with more music right after this. In fact, I have a death announcement coming up after the break.
Ring the alarm. Your vote is needed. Make your voice heard. Come out and vote today. No rain, heat, or turmoil should keep you from the polls. Join our 20 for 20 movement. Reach out to 20 friends and family and make sure they all vote. Let's make sure our voices are heard this election. Paid for by the New Florida Majority Fund.
Justice, equality, accountability. These are the values we need in our leaders to bring us together and be the America we know we can be. Joe Biden and Kamala Harris are those leaders. Joe Biden has the experience to fix our broken economy. He's done it before, and he'll do it again. And our own Kamala Harris is ready to lead. As senator, she championed education, healthcare, criminal justice reform, and a just immigration policy. With Joe Biden and Kamala Harris in charge, we know the White House will be accountable to and work with our community for our well-being. For 4 years, our country has been failed by this administration's incompetence and corruption, but we have the chance to turn it around with values that are rooted in our common goals and shared humanity. Vote early for Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. Paid for by BlackPack and Unite the Country. BlackPack.com and UniteTheCountry.com, which are responsible for the content of this advertising, not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee.
Jones Law Firm, Attorney Dawn Grace Jones, serving the South Florida community in the areas of car accidents, slip and falls, any injury case where you suffer negligence through no fault of your own. Have you been injured at work? Also contact Dawn Grace Jones at Jones Law Firm. How? Go to law.dawngracejones.com. Call 954-451-1653. That's 954-451-1653. Jones Law Firm, Dawn Grace Jones.
America, we need to make a change. Donald Trump is taking this country in the wrong direction. We need a president like Joe Biden and vice president like Kamala Harris, or Jamaican sister. Joe and Kamala will work hard for the Caribbean community. We need that. As president, Joe Biden will make important changes to the things that matter to us. Biden will create a fair and humane immigration system and provide affordable health care for everybody. He will make investments in education and provide funding for our small businesses. So now it's time to do our part. We need to support Joe Biden and Kamala Harris this election day. Go to iwillvote.com to find out how to vote here in Florida for Joe Biden for president and our sister Kamala Harris for vice president.
I'm Joe Biden, candidate for president, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Biden for president.
I'm Desmond Meade, and I led the effort to restore voting rights to people with previous felony convictions. People like me. Let's be honest. How many times we've heard or said, "I die for mine," or "I fight for mine," when we talk about protecting our children or loved ones? If you're willing to fight or die for the ones you love, why not be willing to vote for the one you love? This election, your life and the lives of your loved one hangs in the balance. Don't believe me? Ask the family of Ahmaud Arbery, George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, or Trayvon Martin. Early voting has started, and there is no time to wait. Come out and vote for yours, and join me as I vote for mine. I love my family, and they deserve my vote. Text FREE TV to 82623 to join me and other returning citizens on Saturday, October 24th, as we go to the polls to vote for our lives and our loved ones. This is our moment. This is our vote, and now it's our time.
Paid political advertisement paid for by Florida Rights Restoration Coalition. Project of Tides Advocacy. 4081 LB McLeod Road, Suite C, Orlando, Florida 32811. Independent of any candidate, not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee.
A little religious song here to bring a little soul into your system this Saturday afternoon. Whether you're going through sorrow because of the loss of a loved one, you have some stress because you lost your job because of the COVID. You might be having symptoms of the COVID. You might have the COVID or have had the COVID and are suffering because of the effects of it, or you know someone close to you that has it. You have a restaurant and you had to close it because of all these systems. Work in the airline industry and you lost your job because of layoffs. Just a little thought here, and just dig deep and just know that this too shall pass, right? This too shall pass. 3 words I've used throughout my life to lift my spirits when things are down. This too shall pass. And it is true. It always happens. You may be down today. Things may be sad. You may be angry. You may be upset. You may think, you know what? Life isn't worth going on anymore. But what you say, this too shall pass. And believe in it, because it's true. This too shall pass. My Savior. All right, we're going to announce the death of a few death announcements here. Of course, you heard the news today. James Bond is going on. I think he was the best James Bond of all the James Bonds. Sean Connery, passing away at the age of 90. I think he was the coolest James Bond of all, don't you think? With his Irish, Welsh accent, very distinct voice. He was a cool guy. James Bond. James Bond. Also announcing in Trinidad the death of Mr. Nolly Skinner. member of the popular and great Skinner family in Trinidad. He was a member of the Institute of Surveyors for many, many years, very popular in Trinidad. He passed away due to COVID on October 20th in Trinidad. He was a brother of Cyril Skinner, who lives here in South Florida, worked for American Airlines here at the Miami hub. Cyril Skinner, his brother Nolly passed away. And another brother of theirs passed away a couple of weeks ago also. I think his name was Kenrick Skinner. So Cyril losing two brothers in a matter of weeks. They were related to the Skinner family from St. James. My good friend Elliot Skinner. Selwyn Skinner, who lived here in Florida, now lives in Orlando. Olympic runner Edwin Skinner was related to the Skinner family. So Nolly Springer passed away on October 20th. Oh, yes, indeed. And here locally, a long-time listener of my program, a long-time supporter of my program, a long-time friend to the program, Rosanna Taylor, passed away this past Tuesday, October 27th. She was the mother of Nigel, Kim, Karen, Chriselle Flats, grandmother of Kashunda Flats, who used to be here in the program with me. Remember Kashunda? That's her grandmother. Kareem Flats, Gabrina Flats, Kazea, I hope I pronounced that properly, and Kalila Flats. Sister of Curtis Harris, Sally Ann Johnson, Pamela Clancy, and Sean Harris. Rosanna Taylor passed away this past Tuesday. And here's a note from the family here. As many of you are now aware, our family is dealing with the unexpected passing of our mother, Rosanna Taylor, on Tuesday, October 27th. Her passing was sudden and a shock to us all. On top of being devastated by our mom's passing, we are now struggling to find the funds to cover the unexpected cost of this service. Based on the statement of funeral goods and services we have received, the total cost of a mom's service will be $9,000. The funeral service will be held at Fred Hunter Hollywood Funeral Home, 6301 Taft Street in Hollywood, on Saturday, November the 7th. We will need to pay all funeral costs by Wednesday, November 4th. We have two options available for those that would like to make a donation. The first option, a trust account, has been set up at Fred Hunter's Funeral Home for those that would like to make a donation directly to the funeral home. Just go to fredhunters.com. The contract number is 20H0890. 20H0890. fredhunters.com. Or the second option is to use Cash App and send it to R.H. Taylor Memorial Fund. All right, Cash App, and there's a $sign there. R.H. Taylor Memorial Fund for additional expenses. Please consider donating if you're able to do so. We are very grateful for every single donation during this difficult time. With love, Karen, Crystal, and family. And there's a number here you can call for more information, 305-904-4370. That's 305-904-4370. That's for Rosanna Taylor. Now, the viewing will be on Friday, November the 6th from 4 to 8 p.m. at Fred Hunter Funeral Home, 6301 Taft Street. That's just west of State Road 7 in Hollywood. It's open to the public. The funeral service is on Saturday, November 7th from 3 p.m. That's closed to family and close friends. And there's a repast after the service, which is open to the public, and the address will be announced. So that's for Rosanna Taylor. My condolences to Karen and Crystal and Kashunda and the rest of the family. It was a sudden thing, that unexpected. So I know that that's always the hardest to deal with when it's sudden, you know. The sadness is a little bit deeper. So condolences to you. Hang in there. May you find comfort in the many memories you have of her. Joyful memories. And remember, this too shall pass. Right? And by request, they said this was Rosanna's favorite tune. condolences to the family. Rosanna, may you party in space. And you know, Swallow just went there, so you're going to bounce up with him and join him and say, Swallow boy, I love your tune, all right? And you, together you'll be partying in space, yeah, all right. Mr. Rupert Philo, the mighty swallow out of Antigua, party in space. In the memory of Rosanna Taylor, who passed away this past week, and to her family, we send our best wishes to you as you mourn the loss of your mother, grandmother, sister, cousin, auntie.
Justice, equality, accountability. These are the values we need in our leaders to bring us together and be the America we know we can be. Joe Biden and Kamala Harris are those leaders. Joe Biden has the experience to fix our broken economy. He's done it before, and he'll do it again. And our own Kamala Harris is ready to lead. As senator, she championed education, healthcare, criminal justice reform, and a just immigration policy. With Joe Biden and Kamala Harris in charge, we know the White House will be accountable to and work with our community for our well-being. For 4 years, our country has been failed by this administration's incompetence and corruption, but we have the chance to turn it around with values that are rooted in our common goals and shared humanity. Vote early for Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. Paid for by Black PAC and Unite the Country. BlackPAC.com and UniteTheCountry.com, which are responsible for the content of this advertising, not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee.
Ring the alarm. Your vote vote is needed. Make your voice heard. Come out and vote today. No rain, heat, or turmoil should keep you from the polls. Join our 20 for 20 movement. Reach out to 20 friends and family and make sure they all vote. Let's make sure our voices are heard this election. Paid for by the New Florida Majority Fund.
Sweet Aunt Kathy's Restaurant and Bakery is a place to go to satisfy your craving for tasty, home-style, Trini Caribbean food. Stew dishes, curry dishes, callaloo, macaroni pie, oil dung, cow heel soup, fish, provisions, saltfish, bacon chop, you name it. Real down-home, long-time no-eat treats. Bakery items like homemade bread, coconut bake, cassava pone, corn rolls, and coconut drops. Drinks like Morby, sorrel, juices, peanut punch, and the soursop drink is to die for. Stop by and taste for yourself. Sweet Aunt Kathy's Restaurant and Bakery, 20316 Northwest 2nd Avenue. That's 441 just north of Ives Dairy Road. Call 305-974-5876. Sweet Aunt Kathy can really cook.
One man party. Victor Neverson. Mama Yo, how ready to party. Caribbean Connections, Saturday from noon till 3. Gonna do it for me. Mike Andrews, the heavy roller, playing all that sweet soca, humming like a new Bugatti. Look at this Trini, heavenly, having a one-man party. Come on, Nerissa, pelt some waist. Love that emotion on your face. Everybody happy when you're in the place and you smile like an angel's grace. Back it up. Let me see. I'm having a one-man party. I got some barra on the side, some black pudding already fried, some sauce, enough for me alone. I separate the meat from the bone. A whole case of Guinness and already I'm having a one-man party. Heavy roller. Play some old-time calypso, Raz Shorty I and Lord Brigo, some renegades, my long-time band, playing that sweet, sweet pan. I eat like a Trini, and I having a one-man party. Life is as sweet as can be. The heavy roller is a real Trini, jamming music to lighten the brain and the COVID strain. So I whining like crazy, and I'm having a one-man party.
Victor Neverson, boy, one of my listeners, one of my schoolmates, lives in Houston. I guess my program poet, he sent that to me. Did a nice recording there. Thank you very much, Victor. Having a one-man party. I'll jam that later on. I like it. I like how you put it together. Having a one-man party. Dang-a-lang-a-lang-a, dang-a-dang-dang. Ay, ay, ay. News coming up in just a bit. We go to the island of Martinique for this one. The French influence there on the islands. You know, October was Creole month. I just found out that today. There are 12 variations, at least 12 variations of the Creole French language, that is. Because Creole is they tried to once Creole with any European style and native West Indian language. So there's, Jamaican Creole and Trini Creole and whatnot. But the French Creole, which is Haiti, places like St. Lucia, Dominica, Martinique, Guadeloupe, French Guyana. Even in Trinidad, they used to speak Creole when I was growing up. So this one is from Martinique. The tune is called To Begin. News coming up at the top of the hour. The flautist name is Annie Laurie Carroll, or Carol. Name of the tune is To Begin. The French Creole thing here from Martinique.
WNMA, Miami Springs, Miami, and Fort Lauderdale. This is 1210 The Man and 1210theman.com.
For the best variety and the right mix of Caribbean music, news, and information, tune into the Caribbean Connection radio show with Mike Andrews every Saturday from 12 noon to 3 p.m. The most versatile show on the radio.
One minute after 1 o'clock, Saturday, October the 31st. Here's our news and information segment here on the Caribbean Connection radio show. Let me begin by saying happy independence. Around this time, 3 or 4 of our Caribbean friends celebrate independence. We have St. Vincent the Grenadines, which celebrated their 41st anniversary of independence, October 27th. Happy independence to my SVG friends there. Antigua and Barbuda, A and B. Happy Independence. Independence Day is tomorrow, November the 1st, 39th anniversary of independence. Then the Commonwealth of Dominica, November 3rd, is their Independence Day, 42nd anniversary of independence to my Dominican friends. And then Panama, also on November 3rd, independence from Colombia, 117 years ago. So all my friends, my Vincentians, Antiguans, Dominicans, and Panamanians, happy independence to you around this time. We start our news, of course, with COVID. Worldwide, over 46 million confirmed cases with 1.2 million deaths so far in the world. The USA passed 9 million cases, 9,321,266. Lots of states are spiking. The death toll in the USA is 235,212. Worldwide, from a week ago, increased by 3.5 million people from a week ago with 45,000 more deaths. Florida has 800,216 with 16,720 deaths. To my Panamanian friends, Panama has 132,867 confirmed cases so far. The epicenter in the Caribbean is the Dominican Republic, 126,332. Puerto Rico has the second highest case with 66,128. French Guiana is third at 10,517. As of today, I told you earlier, October 31st, the 15-member CARICOM countries have recorded 43,805 positive cases with 992 deaths. Haiti has 9,057. Jamaica, which has the most cases in the English-speaking Caribbean, is inching closer to Haiti. They have 9,005 cases, 367 more than what I reported a week ago. Cuba has 6,801. The Bahamas has 6,664. Trinidad and Tobago is next with 5,668, 181 more than a week ago. Suriname has 5,201. Aruba now has 4,494. Guyana has jumped up to 4,143. And Belize, a surge there, 412 more than a week ago. They now have 3,462, 412 cases in 1 week. Additional restrictions were announced in Belize there. They have 68 deaths. The U.S. Virgin Islands has 1,362. Cayman Islands, 240. Barbados, 236. Antigua jumped 5 to 127. St. Lucia jumped from 48 last week to 78 this week, causing Prime Minister Alan Chastanet to announce new restrictions. St. Vincent and Grenadines has 74. Dominica went up 11 and now has 50. Grenada remains at 28 and St. Kitts remains at 19. And speaking of COVID-19 lockdown, a COVID-19 lockdown went into effect yesterday in the French island of Martinique, which in one single week recorded more than 700 new cases of the virus and now has 552. There were 150 new cases in a single day During the last week, hospital services are also saturated, according to local news reports. Now, to put this in perspective, lockdowns will be in place there in Martinique for 3 weeks. Its sister islands, Guadeloupe, now has 7,605. To put it in perspective, these two islands, which are French territories, with a combined population of only just over 775,000, has a total of 11,157 cases. Compare that to Jamaica, which has a population of just around 3 million and has 9,005 cases. So those two French islands, Guadeloupe and Martinique, are really suffering with the high number of cases on those small little islands. CARICOM leaders, acknowledging that the economic prospects for the Caribbean had worsened, said the current environment provides a perfect storm of a public health crisis, an economic crisis, and a deepening debt crisis. In that regard, the regional leaders have agreed to the concept of a Caribbean Economic Recovery Transformation, or CERT plan, which has been devised by a regional team of experts under the leadership of Barbados Prime Minister Mia Mottley. Heads of government called for a new special drawing rights allocation by the International Monetary Fund, as well as the refinancing of COVID-related debt into long-term, low-interest instruments. They also urged the early development and use of a universal vulnerability index to determine countries' eligibility for development assistance. This was released in a communique issued yesterday. The leaders, who met virtually for the 41st regular summit on Thursday, also discussed in detail the impact the coronavirus pandemic continues to have on their respective economies. They have acknowledged that the relative success of the 15-member grouping in the fight against the pandemic that was first detected in China last December. The leader said the success to date in dealing with the virus is attributed to the application of functional cooperation, one of the core principles of regional integration, and which was adopted from the outbreak of the virus. In Trinidad, former government minister Vasant Barath has issued a warning to the ruling People's National Movement that under his leadership, the United National Congress, the opposition, will return to government. The next general elections are due in 2025. Mr. Barath officially declared that he will be battling UNC leader Kamla Persad-Bissessar for the party's leadership in the election which was called for December 6th. That's a party election, internal election. He criticized Ms. Persad-Bissessar, saying that she led the UNC into 11 election defeats and the membership is crying out for change. He said the UNC presently is in a rapid decline and in total disarray because of poor leadership. He said the UNC electoral losses have been a nightmare, as he lamented that despite the PNM being unpopular and not having any achievements, his words, the UNC still lost the August 10th, 2020 general elections. He said, I will also sound a warning and put the PNM on notice. We in the USC might be wounded, we may seem leaderless and in disarray, but be warned, we in the USC are a proud and resilient people. He was speaking at a news conference in El Socorro. UNC members Ramona Ramdale and Larry Lala were also in attendance. And one of the stories making news in Trinidad this week is the domestic murder of a Venezuelan woman by her Cuban husband. This story has created chat over in Venezuela. News of the murder of 32-year-old Venezuelan national Jandris Espinosa at Flagstaff Hill in St. James by her mate, 42-year-old Cuban national Aroldo Gutierrez, has started a social media movement in her home country, with one politician describing Trinidad as the devil's destination. I kid you not. According to reports, police received a domestic violence call, and when they arrived, they were told that the victim was asleep by Gutierrez. But when police checked, they found the woman dead on her bed. Neighbors said the couple always fought, but described their last altercation as the worst. They said they heard howling and screaming the day she died, but they did not intervene. An autopsy showed that the lady was also pregnant. Under the hashtag Justicia para Jandris, or Justice for Jandris, politicians and citizens called for a fair investigation into the murder. Now, the accused, Aroldo Gutierrez, is a Cuban national who worked for the Venezuelan embassy in Trinidad. She was the second Venezuelan woman to be killed during a domestic dispute in Trinidad in just over a month. In September, Johanna Diaz, 33 years old, was found dead in a cesspit. She was killed by her Trinidadian boyfriend. President of Venezuela's National Assembly and the man the United States recognized as the country's leader, Juan Guaido, joined the cause and tweeted that his countrymen were fleeing an emergency and a dictatorship in order to survive, not to be victims of violence and atrocity. Other politicians blamed the country's political climate for the murders of their nationals abroad. Deputy of the National Assembly, Manuela Bolivar, tweeted about what he deemed the inaction of the authorities in Trinidad in the face of gender and xenophobic violence that continued to claim the lives of Venezuelan women. Venezuelan national Rafael Perdomo described Trinidad as a devil's destination for Venezuelans, while Gabriela Rincones said that Trinidad and Tobago has been a real disgrace for Venezuelans. Jamaica, I know you have comments on that. I'll let you comment. I'll leave that one to you. Good and bad. Jamaica earned more than $250 million US between June and the end of September from tourism, despite the blow delivered to the industry by COVID-19. This is according to Ed Bartlett, the government minister with responsibility for the sector. Preliminary figures from the Jamaica Tourist Board indicate that since reopening on June 15th, we have recorded a little over 200,000 passengers to the country, and from June to September, earnings amounted to just over $250 million US, Mr. Bartlett said. He added that airlift commitments to the islands continue to increase, describing that as a good indicator of demand among travelers waiting or making bookings. The JTB is maintaining strong engagement with our tour operators and airline companies to drive bookings for the winter, and already seat support out of key markets include the USA, Canada, United Kingdom, continental Europe. Jamaica closed its borders to incoming passenger traffic in March after the first few cases of COVID-19 were reported in the island. The move resulted in the island reportedly losing approximately $15 million, that's US dollars, per day, from an industry which contributed approximately $3.7 billion US dollars to the economy from 4.3 million arrivals last year, and which provides direct employment to 170,000 people, as well as indirect income to another 200,000 people. A new report from the Washington, D.C.-based Center for Strategic and International Studies organization says that immigration rate is one of the highest in the world from one CARICOM nation, Guyana. An analysis of the Guyanese diaspora done by the organization found that about 30,000 Guyanese leave the country annually. 30,000 a year. A sizable portion for a nation with a total population that has never reached 1 million. The Guyanese diaspora, published last month, says the number of Guyanese living abroad has increased since the 1960s. The report authors say that the pull factor, represented by a growing number of diaspora family members, has only helped to keep the immigration flow steady due to difficult economic conditions, a tense social and political environment in Guyana, a weak educational system, high levels of insecurity, and an efficient healthcare system. The first-generation immigration Guyanese diaspora was put conservatively at 550,000. That's almost the whole population of Guyana there, not including their descendants. The Guyanese diaspora immigrants in 2019 were North America, which accounted for 80% of Guyanese immigrants worldwide. The Caribbean and Latin America, 12.4%, the majority of whom are in the Caribbean, and Northern Europe and the United Kingdom, which accounted for 5.9%. The report highlights that the United States continues to be the most popular destination for immigrating Guyanese. According to the report, it is estimated that over 400,000 people in the United States are Guyanese or of Guyanese ancestry, most of them residing in New York, of course, Queens area, right? New Jersey, Florida, Georgia, and Maryland. And my final story here, another big up to Tobago. Last week I told you about 3 of the beaches being named by the World Body for its conservation and so on. Now, here's another accolade going to Tobago. Northeast Tobago has been awarded the prestigious UNESCO Man and the Biosphere designation. This area is now the largest UNESCO site in the English-speaking Caribbean, spanning 15 communities from Belgarden in the east towards Moria on the northern part of the island. And that includes all the way going up Speyside and Charlottesville and Palativier, coming around that side of the island, right? The announcement was made at the 32nd sitting of the Man and the Biosphere International Coordinating Committee on Wednesday. According to UNESCO, the Man and the Biosphere program is an intergovernmental science program that aims to establish a scientific basis for enhancing the relationship between people and their environments. It combines the natural and social sciences with a view to improving human livelihoods and safeguarding natural and managed ecosystems, thus promoting innovative approaches to economic development that are socially and culturally appropriate and environmentally sustainable. Secretary of the Division of Infrastructure, Quarries and the Environment in Tobago, Kwesi Devines, said that there were many opportunities to be derived, and additionally, this was another milestone for Tobago and the nation on a whole. He said, Trinidad and Tobago is a small nation with a fierce spirit. Northeast Tobago has always been the pearl of our paradise. It is therefore no surprise that the area is worthy enough to attract the attention of the world, Mr. Devines said. Now, the Northeast Tobago Biosphere Reserve presents a rare, largely intact Caribbean island ridge-to-ocean ecosystem that includes the world's oldest tropical rainforest reserve, the Tobago Main Ridge Forest Reserve, which was established in 1776. It also encompasses 83,488 hectares with a marine area of 68,384 that is home to coral reefs and the mangroves. Overall, 1,774 species have been recorded in its 19 habitat types, and it is home to globally unique and endangered plants and animals, including 83 red list species and 41 endemic species. By joining the World Network of Biosphere Reserves, the community aims to revitalize cultural and spiritual bonds between people and nature and boost the preservation of this fragile and remarkable human and natural landscape. Now, there are 130 biosphere reserves in 21 countries of Latin America and the Caribbean. The only other one in the English-speaking Caribbean is in St. Kitts, at the St. Mary's Biosphere Reserve. The other Caribbean reserves are in Cuba, Dominican Republic, and Haiti. Big up to Tobago once again. And if you're not familiar with Tobago, that area from Belgarden, that's the village where my family is from. Belgarden, going up to Kendall, and then Argyle, Roxborough, Delaford, Speyside, into Charlottesville. Charlottesville is one of the most beautiful villages and most picturesque villages there. And then you go around the tip of the island, you go on the North Coast Road, and you go to places like Palativier and Castara and Moria and Englishman's Bay. It's a part of the island that I don't understand why the tourism places there don't develop more. Most of the tourists, for example, that go from Trinidad to Tobago, they hang out in the western side of the island, you know, in the flat side, down in Store Bay and Mount Irvin. Most of them hang out there. Hardly any venture east into Belgarden and Speyside, but that's one of the most beautiful part of the island. And for many years, I've been pushing. I even had meetings with the Tobago House of Assembly to promote that side of the island. I've spoken to you about the drive from Scarborough, going up the Windward Road into Speyside and hanging out in Speyside. I've told you about that, and many people have told me since I talked about it that they have done it based on what I've talked about. And they said, Mike, you're right, it's very beautiful, you know. So when next you go to Tobago, you have to visit that area. And then when you reach the Roxborough, you can drive through the middle of the island, go from Roxborough through the rainforest I talked about to the northern side of the island, and you can catch out like Palativier, one of the most beautiful beaches anywhere in the world. Let me tell you, that beach is beautiful. So, all right, that's my speedy on Tobago. Congratulations to Tobago once again. 2 awards back to back in 2 weeks. Nicely done. Now, they should do something about that. I always say there should be a direct flight from the USA to Tobago. Used to have one, American Airlines used to have a flight from American Eagle that connected through Puerto Rico into Tobago, but that was stopped when American canceled the Puerto Rico hub. But there should be a direct flight, and they should promote tourism more to Tobago, that people don't have to go through Trinidad if they want to go to Tobago. Direct to Tobago. Yeah, come on. Promote Tobago more. It's a beautiful island, one of the most beautiful islands in the Caribbean, and undeveloped in terms of tourism. So, yeah. That's news coming from across the Caribbean region, brought to you right here on WNMA, and my little piece there at the end.
Kingston Miami Trading Company is the largest West Indian-owned food distributor in the Southeast USA market. We pride ourselves in being creative and innovative in formulating quality Caribbean and ethnic food. Our products include Jamaica country-style brands, sodas, coconut juice and coconut drinks, seasonings and spices, sauces, mango juice, fruits and vegetables. We've also got Trinidad Best and Trinidad country-style products, pepper sauce, green seasoning, Morby, sorrel. We also have Sac Passe Creole style, Mrs. Chris products, Guyana Way, Crop Over brand, Chef Bull Chong sauces, Caribbean exotic gourmet, and lots more. Our products are always rated high in quality, low in price, and larger in quantity, and available at leading groceries. We are Kingston Miami Trading Company. Log on to kingstonmiami.com or call 1-800-986-0986.
We are living in challenging and uncertain times in America, and it can seem like things are getting worse every time you turn on the news. But there is something we can do about it. We can vote. We can vote for our future. We can vote for our children's future. We can vote for Democrats. This year, our votes can and must be our voice. It's the only way to make sure we get the change we are looking for. Better jobs, education, healthcare, investments in small businesses, and a fair and humane immigration system. That change starts with voting. Our vote is our power, and we need every single one of us to do our part. I need you to plan your vote. Go to iwillvote.com today and get information on when and where to vote. That's iwillvote.com. Together, we can get this country back on track.
Paid for by the Florida Democratic Party, who is responsible for the content of this advertising. FloridaDems.org. Not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee.
Justice, equality, accountability. These are the values we need in our leaders to bring us together and be the America we know we can be. Joe Biden and Kamala Harris are those leaders. Joe Biden has the experience to fix our broken economy. He's done it before, and he'll do it again. And our own Kamala Harris is ready to lead. As senator, she championed education, healthcare, criminal justice reform, and a just immigration policy. With Joe Biden and Kamala Harris in charge, we know the White House will be accountable to and work with our community for our well-being. For 4 years, our country has been failed by this administration's incompetence and corruption, but we have the chance to turn it around with values that are rooted in our common goals and shared humanity. Vote early for Joe Biden and Kamala Harris.
Paid for by BlackPack and Unite the Country. BlackPack.com and UniteTheCountry.com, which are responsible for the content of this advertising. Not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee.
I'm Desmond Meade, and I led the effort to restore voting rights to people with previous felony convictions. People like me. Let's be honest. How many times we've heard or said, "I die for mines," or "I fight for mines," when we talk about protecting our children's or loved ones? If you're willing to fight or die for the ones you love, why not be willing to vote for the one you love? This election, your life and the lives of your loved one hangs in the balance. Don't believe me? Ask the family of Ahmaud Arbery, George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, or Trayvon Martin. Early voting has started, and there is no time to wait. Come out and vote for yours, and join me as I vote for mine. I love my family, and they deserve my vote. Text FREE TV to 82623 to join me and other returning citizens on Saturday, October 24th, as we go to the polls to vote for our lives and our loved ones. This is our moment. This is our vote, and now it's our time.
Paid for little advertisement paid for by Florida Rights Restoration Coalition. Project of Tides Advocacy. 4081 LB McLeod Road, Suite C, Orlando, Florida 32811. Independent of any candidate, not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee.
Ring the alarm. Your vote is needed now. Make sure your voice is heard. Come out and vote today. No rain, heat, and turmoil should keep you from the polls. Join our 20 for 20 movement and reach out to 20 friends and family and make sure that they all vote. Make sure your voices are heard for this election. Paid for by the New Florida Majority Fund.
That's a beautiful voice there of Miss Vanessa James, the New Florida Majority Fund 2020 vote. You go and vote and take 20 folks with you. You have 2 more days for early voting, the rest of the day and tomorrow. And then, of course, you have to vote on Tuesday rather, at your precinct, whatever precinct you have that you have to go to. Between the end of tomorrow, you can go to any of the voting locations in your respective counties and go and vote. 2 more days for early voting, all right? Make sure and go out there and vote. 1:26 is our time. I hope you enjoy. Tobago, the other one, the award they got last week was the Blue Flag Pilot status. And that's 3 of his beaches, Kings Bay, Bloody Bay, and Mount Irving Bay, were awarded that status last week. And now, this week, Man in the Bass Fair. For the whole northeast part of Tobago, from Belgarden all the way up and around to Mariah. All right, congratulations to Tobago on that one. You know, in music around the world, more and more you see genres are mixing. Crossover music. Long ago, it was one genre. You listen to, that's a genre. But music, people realize, hey, music is universal. Mixing, soca with salsa, jazz with this. One of the most mixed in the Caribbean is chutney and soca. Based on the majority of the population in Trinidad and Tobago, the Afros and the Indos and the music come together. Here's Savita Singh and Raquel, brand new for you. Or Mary Sona.
Position. See me back bend, boy, see me position. Before you get me ring, boy, mash up the team, boy. See me position for the whining and beat it. Give me like a cherry pon red. Neither like me, you are pushing your tread. No water, sorry, if you cry on me. Cause boy, me that plate and me what is dead. Position. See me back bend, boy, see me position. Before you get me ring, boy, mash up the thing, boy. See me position for the whining and beat it. Give me like a cherry pon red. Neither like me, you are pushing your tread. No water, sorry, if you cry on me. Cause boy, me that plate and me what is dead.
Every creed and race could jump in a band. Love one another, United Nation. Prime Minister, all politicians, President, police, and all civilian. United Nation, United Nation. Nothing wrong with whining on a Indian girl. Nothing wrong with whining on a Chinese girl. Nothing wrong with whining on an African girl. Or you whine on a Syrian girl. Unity. Show me, show me. United Nation, United Nation. Sing it again. Go.
Marshall Montana and Drupati Ramgunai. Real unity there for you. Got me in a curry goat kind of mood here. Understand that's what the wife is cooking today. Curry goat. Uh-huh. Come, Mr. Goolie man, you bring your mother, man. I'm just. We're gonna take a break and come back. It's WNMA, Caribbean Connection Radio Show. Mike Andrews here with you on a Saturday afternoon. Hope you're having fun as much as I do. Speaking of curry.
Boy, yeah. Boy, I have a curry tabanka today, boy. I don't care if it's curry chicken, curry goat, curry fish, or even curry egg. Once it's curry, I good to go. Well, it's a good thing I have the Jamaica way curry powder in my cupboard. Yeah, now, boy. The Jamaica way curry powder is real good curry. It's real authentic Caribbean style curry that is certified good quality. No fake ingredients. It comes in 3 sizes. A small boy, a big youth, and a mega man. Boy, when you cook with the Jamaica way curry, you'll have them licking their fingers. It's easy to find because it's in all them supermarket and groceries. Listen to the Gopi. The Jamaica way curry powder is boss. That is the damn thing, self-yes, boy.
Jamaica Way Curry Powder is distributed by Kingston Miami Trading Company. Log on to jcskitchen.com for great recipes or to order online.
Justice, equality, accountability. These are the values we need in our leaders to bring us together and be the America we know we can be. Joe Biden and Kamala Harris are those leaders. Joe Biden has the experience to fix our broken economy. He's done it before, and he'll do it again. And our own Kamala Harris is ready to lead. As senator, she championed education, healthcare, criminal justice reform, and a just immigration policy. With Joe Biden and Kamala Harris in charge, we know the White House will be accountable to and work with our community for our well-being. For 4 years, our country has been failed by this administration's incompetence and corruption, but we have the chance to turn it around with values that are rooted in our common goals and shared humanity. Vote early for Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. Paid for by Black Pac and Unite the Country. BlackPac.com and UniteTheCountry.com, which are responsible for the content of this advertising, not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee.
Jones Law Firm, Attorney Dawn Grace Jones, serving the South Florida community in the areas of car accidents, slip and falls, any injury case where you suffer negligence through no fault of your own. Have you been injured at work? Also contact Dawn Grace Jones at Jones Law Firm. How? Go to law.dawngracejones.com. Call 954-451-1653. That's 954-451-1653. Jones Law Firm, Dawn Grace Jones.
Ring the alarm. Your vote is needed. Make your voice heard. Come out and vote today. No rain, heat, or turmoil should keep you from the polls. Join our 20 for 20 movement. Reach out to 20 friends and family and make sure they all vote. Let's make sure our voices are heard this election. Paid for by the New Florida Majority Fund.
You know, one topic that is not getting a lot of attention, I find, in the election is that of corruption. Corruption is something that affects the whole world, and there are some countries that are more corrupt than others. And there's some administration in some countries that are more corrupt than others. Take, for example, Trinidad and Tobago. We know that over the years we've heard of corruption by the various parties or members of parties. And arguably the most corrupt administration that we've had in Trinidad and Tobago is the last administration of the United National Congress, where billions of dollars were taken away from the country's treasuries to line the pockets of private people and a small group of people. Corruption diminishes the resources of a country to take care of the areas that need funding. You have poor countries with a few very, very rich people. They have all the luxuries and they could travel the world. Some of them have their own private jets and they can go in first class and travel the world, while the majority of the population live in poverty and suffer for basic, essential services, health care and schooling and transportation and food and whatnot. But yet you have a few people living in luxury. If you look at the corruption index by Transparency International, you find that the countries with the least corruption are the countries that usually are rated as the best countries to live in the world. They have the most stable system, political system. They have the best services. You know, they have the happiest people. And I'm talking of countries like Sweden, Norway, Switzerland, New Zealand, Canada, Australia. They are high up there in terms of the least corruption. And if you look at the countries with the most corruption, they are the ones at the bottom of the list in terms of all those services. The most corrupt country in the Western Hemisphere, they say, is Haiti. And look at the poverty that the Haitians living, and look at some of the Haitian citizens who are rich beyond measures, right? And the rest of the Caribbean, some of them fall in the same thing. Look at African countries. Some of the most corrupt countries in the world in Africa. And Africa have most of their population living in poverty and a few very rich Africans. Here in the United States, I think you can argue that one of the most corrupt administrations we've had in the past few is this current administration. Here's a man who became president. Some people don't know how, but didn't have a good reputation in terms of fairness when it comes to dealing with businesses. So you become president, and your daughter is part of your administration. Your son-in-law is part of your administration, and your son is also part of your administration. Many of his aides and people have either been charged, are in jail, or went to jail, or will go to jail. You know, reports after reports show that this administration, the president, seeks his own interests. And I don't think that the Biden campaign has addressed this enough in their ads. You know, you want to talk about the corona, yes, that's bad, but the corona is bad all over around the world. So after a while, that message gets lost. His supporters say, so what, you know? But I think if you attack the integrity of the administration in terms of corruption, it's one of the most corrupt administrations that we've had. The taxes, for example, we saw where, you know, this whole situation with the tax, paid $750 one year and the next year for a man who is a billionaire and boasts about his money and whatnot. And that was not addressed at all, hardly ever, by the Biden campaign. So I think they're missing opportunities to sway some voters who may think differently if you talk about the integrity of the person who wants to be president or who is president and wants to be president for a second term. Corruption around the world damages people, you know, and a lot of countries that you see all of a sudden administration comes in and they go on a construction binge. They start constructing roads and bridges and airports and buildings. That is a perfect lead into corruption. Because when you go at contractor, the job costs $30 million, and you tell that contractor, I will give you the job for 30 million if you elevate the cost to 60 million. The contractor say, some countries, the only way you can get jobs is to give a little extra to the people who will get you the job. The only way. The only way. So, of course, you're a contractor. You want the job. You have mouths to feed. You have family. You have employees. You will say, okay, I'll do the job. I'll build your roads. The direct cost is 30 million, but I would up the cost to 60 million. So the other 30 goes to the minister or the assistant secretary or whoever, goes to fill his pockets and his family's pockets, and the bridge is built. And what does the contractor do? He uses substandard quality material because he has to reduce his cost one way or the other. Look at the airport in Trinidad. Soon as that UNC thing went in, bam, airport, new airport. Substandard quality material was built, and right after the airport was built, it had to be renovated and built again. And in that whole airport thing in Trinidad, not one person in Trinidad has made a jail for that airport scandal. Here in Miami, the Miami companies that were involved, the people here in Miami were charged, went to trial, convicted, made their sentence, made their jail, and came out. And not one person in Trinidad has been found guilty or went to jail for that as yet. That is corruption. That is corruption. Here's a tune I want to jam. Devon Seal. Care by Class. How you doing, Scotty?
Plenty people worship money, from papa to president. From they say it's temporary, but class it is permanent. For the good book tell we, less than the more you have money, more you must endure. More money, more problems. They can't take a nap. Worried that they're going to get kidnapped. The poor, they don't have to study that. No, no. Money could buy silver. Money could buy gold. Diamond, pearls, whatever. Plus treasures untold. If you're rich like Stanford, it could post your bill. Could corrupt a whole pod. Right turkeys in jail. Like some fools just find out. It does never last. Cause money can't buy your class. What does look like gold sometimes is brass. Lord, money can't buy your class. So the rich is so they gross and crass. Why? Money can't buy your class. Sing it, they have plenty money, but no class. Plenty, plenty money, but no class. Mucho big dinero, but no class. Vive with me poquito. No class. Some men just have a bag of money, but no manners or etiquette. They were dragged up with no autopsy. Words like peace and thanks they forget. Matthew chapter 19 and verse 24. Rich man's way to heaven, red hot to secure. Easier for a camel through a needle's eye than the rich to ever get a blind. The poor, they don't even have to try. My, money could buy paintings, money could buy art, all kind of cute quaint things, and phones at Christmas. It could buy protection, it sure was from flood, but can't buy salvation, cause money can't buy God. As the country find out about them piece of the past, money can't buy your class. In every cocktail party, knocking glass, ching. Money can't buy your class. As they reach home, wife getting planners leaks. Money can't buy your class. They have plenty money, but no class. Plenty money, but no class. Mucho dinero, man. No class. Pero déjame con poquito. No class. Now say good morning. No class. Please listen, learning. No class. Have no courtesy. No class. No grace, no dignity. No class. Bunks can't passing. No class. Young girl they harassing. No class. In your face yawning. No class. As they eat their belching.
No class. No class. No class.
When a man has class, no doubt about it. No matter his race or color, they're bound to have 1 cent in his pocket. Yet it will ooze through every pore. Look, some does go to party, drink and eat enough, but like they're still hungry.
Talking about their stuff.
It does make me wonder
if they come for food.
So they liquor, so they crude. Money carry pair bad attitude. Yeah, man. Money could buy
Devon Seal there for you. Money can't buy class.
degrees and false papers.
Even
You could have all the money in the world, but no class.
by liar.
You know somebody like that?
Your time
Claim to be so rich, and
but it can buy a piece.
every few words he insults people,
Cane, Grey Goose, and even
carries down people, handicapped people, insults them and mocks them. Always calling people names,
like the Labasti.
bigging up dictators around the world, and guess he wants to be like them.
The elevator pass.
Corruption rampant.
money can buy.
People left, right, and center going to jail.
Sing it. They have plenty money, but
No class. Yeah.
plenty money, but
This is my editorial piece here, editorial segment. Don't deal with politics much, but you know, some every now and then. Here's the Mighty Sparrow, all about a good citizen.
When does someone really become a good citizen? I'd like to know for sure. Why, when the ordinary man disagrees with the establishment, they call it treason. Why should they persecute a black power? Don't they know a blind man could see that this is blatant hypocrisy, the real high in society? Yet the government protecting all of them and penalizing you and me, and in a million different ways they violate the law. It's the same good, no good bastards who oppress the poor. They sell in black market, making excess profit, paying a starvation salary. These good citizens are the architects of economic slavery. They say you have the right to criticize, but then you are victimized, and without any reason. Many a time you find yourself politically paralyzed by that same good citizen. Yet these fakes and phonies enjoy a long life of luxury while they spread corruption throughout the country. When they should be arrested, they're protected and respected in this society, and in a million different ways they violate the law. It's the same good, no good bastards who oppress the poor with a false declaration, tax evasion, defrauding customs duty. These good citizens are the architects of economic slavery. In greed and fraud and strife, they specialize. Double deals, they idolize. If you're brave enough to open your mouth and
criticized. One time you are ostracized and or victimized. Still they go unpunished and unaccused of any crime, while on the backs of the ordinary man these vultures climb. They use the riches and the power, make a mockery of the law, and have the law protect them same time. In a million different ways they violate the law. It's the same good no good bastards who oppress the poor. They controlling bootlegging, dope peddling, prostitution and piracy. These good citizens are the architects of economic slavery.
The Mighty Sparrow, Dr. Slinger Francisco. Just saw the news that his wax figure, be placed in the museum in Barbados. Congratulations to the Mighty Sparrow.
Justice, equality, accountability. These are the values we need in our leaders to bring us together and be the America we know we can be. Joe Biden and Kamala Harris are those leaders. Joe Biden has the experience to fix our broken economy. He's done it before, and he'll do it again. And our own Kamala Harris is ready to lead. As senator, she championed education, healthcare, criminal justice reform, and a just immigration policy. With Joe Biden and Kamala Harris in charge, we know the White House will be accountable to and work with our community for our well-being. For 4 years, our country has been failed by this administration's incompetence and corruption, but we have the chance to turn it around with values that are rooted in our common goals and shared humanity. Vote early for Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. Paid for by Black PAC and Unite the Country. BlackPAC.com and UniteTheCountry.com, which are responsible for the content of this advertising. Not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee.
A job's about a lot more than a paycheck. It's about your dignity. Under my plan, 50% of emergency small business relief would be reserved for the smallest businesses to recover from the economic mess we're in and to rebuild the economic future our country deserves. We can't just build back to what it was before. We have to build back better. If we truly want to reward the work in this country, we have to ease the financial burdens of care that families are carrying. To start, every 3- and 4-year-old child gets access to free high-quality preschool, and low- and middle-income families won't spend more than 7% of their income on childcare for children under the age of 5. Advancing racial equity across the American economy. Building wealth for families of color. Building a future worthy of their courage and their ambition. Just imagine if we could truly unleash their full potential. I'm confident we can do this. I'm Joe Biden, candidate for president, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Biden for president.
I'm Desmond Meade, and I led the effort to restore voting rights to people with previous felony convictions. People like me. Let's be honest. How many times we've heard or said, "I die for mines," or "I fight for mines," when we talk about protecting our children's or loved ones? If you're willing to fight or die for the ones you love, why not be willing to vote for the one you love? This election, your life and the lives of your loved one hangs in the balance. Don't believe me? Ask the family of Ahmaud Arbery, George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, or Trayvon Martin. Early voting has started, and there is no time to wait. Come out and vote for yours, and join me as I vote for mine. I love my family, and they deserve my vote. Text FREE TV to 82623 to join me and other returning citizens on Saturday, October 24th, as we go to the polls to vote for our lives and our loved ones. This is our moment. This is our vote, and now it's our time.
Paid for little advertisement paid for by Florida Rights Restoration Coalition. Project of Tides Advocacy. 4081 LB McLeod Road, Suite C, Orlando, Florida 32811. Independent of any candidate, not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee.
Coming up to the 2 o'clock hour here, Caribbean Connection Radio Show. 1 of 3 on WNMA Caribbean Saturdays. Of course, 1 of 1. First one, 9 to 12. We have the Caribbean Upliftment Program featuring Don Daly, Rosie Fletcher, and Cleve Osborne. I'm next, 12 until 3. Me, Mike Andrews, a heavy roller. Occasional guest Narissa Street. And 3 of 3. 3 at 3. 3 until 6, Eddie, Cleve, and Jillian. Caribbean Rhythms. Every Saturday, 9 a.m. until 6 p.m. We keep you in touch with your Caribbean heritage. Right here. All kind of music, information. We give you things to think about. We share our own opinions with you. You may agree with some of it, you may disagree with some of it, but we make you think. We try to be responsible and fair. No controversy, you know. Professional in how we bring it. I did it my way, yeah. And you know, I have some very kind and loyal listeners. I've had people over the past few years sending me donations to contribute towards the program. I have all kind of listeners. They share information with me. Some of them share music. This gentleman here years ago met me and shared with me an album of his. Mr. Christopher Coquiabro, regular listener, and this week he sent in a contribution towards the expenses of the program. So Christopher, thank you very much. And I still listen, although I don't play it often sometimes. He shared his album, The Duke of Iron. Thank you very much for sharing that album with me, Christopher. And thank you for always listening. Thank you for always supporting.
WNMA, Miami Springs, Miami, and Fort Lauderdale. This is 1210 The Man and 1210theman.com.
For the best variety and the right mix of Caribbean music, news, and information, tune into the Caribbean Connection radio show with Mike Andrews every Saturday from 12 noon to 3 p.m. The most versatile show on the radio.
1 minute after 2 o'clock, our final hour here in this session. We have a vintage and groovy soca jam. I'll be jamming. I'm going to make you dance. I'm going to make you prance. I'm going to make you just smile. You know, music that brings a smile to the lips and movement to the hips. Yeah, I'm going to brighten up your day. No matter what kind of day, I'm going to put some brightness into it, all right? If you're celebrating your birthday around this time, I don't have your names. Happy birthday to you. This is the day of your birth. This is a special day for you, so celebrate, enjoy, and blessings to you for many more happy years, all right? Mr. Alwyn Thomas, happy birthday. Al Boy, one of the founders of the Miami Carnival Association. We interviewed him when I did my carnival memory a few weeks ago. So, Alwyn, happy birthday. This is coming from your good friend Marlene and the entire carnival committee. Happy birthday to you. Around this time also, Desmond Worrell, the late Desmond Worrell, his birthday would have been tomorrow. So we remember Mr. Desi Worrell. Winnie Alexander, she's in Brooklyn. Her sister, Miss Catherine, wants to wish her a happy birthday. Her birthday is today. Of course, Catherine, our Carib queen here, her sister Winnie is celebrating her birthday. She's in Brooklyn. Sharami Thompson, her birthday was this week. Happy birthday, Sharami. And I see that Leroy Lashley Jr., his birthday is on Tuesday. Happy birthday, little Leroy. Well, not little Leroy, Leroy Jr. Happy birthday, Leroy, coming from your father, Dr. Leroy, and your mother, Mrs. Ann Lashley. Happy birthday to all the birthday folks. Happy birthday to you.
shake their tail and congratulate the body upon reaching a happy free score. Show them you could jump body and still shake your rump. Boy, we wish you had plenty wealth and we wish that you live to see many more. It's gonna be one big party tonight. I tell you, one big party tonight. We go wine and get on bar, we go jam. Like if we might go be one big party tonight.
Rubber chain, break away, big ol' leg.
One big party tonight. From morning until night, go be bacchanal, people go be dressed up like. If it's carnival, steel band music will be jamming sweet. Woman will be whining in the street. You'll hear people say, this is parody. Let the music play, let it play. We ain't living here till tomorrow. Juve, so strike up the band and come let me jam. The among that shake, we go shake. Pretty family gon' think it is our way. It's gonna be one big party tonight. I tell you, one big party tonight. We go wine and get on by big old jam. Like a free man, go be one big party tonight.
One big party, sending special shout out to my niece Nancy, her husband Gavin, and the family up there in Atlanta. They've got it locked on online, 1210theman.com or on YouTube. This is coming from your mom, Janet, my sister. Yeah, man. All my online listeners. My Curiosity chat group. Hayden and Victor and David and Rex and Tony and all the other guys. Thanks for tuning in.
Vegetarian and all they getting, that is quite a treat. But still incomplete. I go give them black money, tattoo and all kind of delicious wine. It go be one big party tonight. I tell you, one big party tonight. We go wine and get on by, we go jam.
And to the calls I'm getting from my Tubigonians, they say, Mike, you made us proud when you spoke about Tobago and the special project that they have. And one lady said, you know, you're right. Most of the people that go from Trinidad to Tobago, they stay on the western side, lowlands, the flat part of Tobago, Crown Point Airport and Store Bay and Mount Irving and all those places, Bucco. But if they venture towards the east, either on the Windward Road or the Leeward Road, Bell Garden and upwards, and Mariah, and that's a beautiful part of Tobago, they say. People miss that part. Charlottesville, let me tell you, when you reach on top of Speyside Hill, then you look down into the Speyside Valley, oh my gosh, beautiful, beautiful.
Like in the movies, you go see very skillful lady.
And one of the most thrilling rides is that hill going down into Charlottesville with some hairpin turns. You got a view of Charlottesville down in the back, and you go down there, the village is peaceful. The jetty going out there, and then there's Manawar Island out there. Let me tell you, boy.
We go wine and get on bar, we go jam.
Tobago House of Assembly should pay me to promote Tobago. I'll do a better job than some of them are doing, let me tell you. I played it earlier and people say, Mike, that was very nice. That was very nice indeed. Here's my friend Victor Nevergan. I got to play it again. He did something for me called a one-man party, a special poem that he did for me. Hey, listen to this one.
One man party. Victor Neverson. Mama Yo, how ready to party. Caribbean Connections, Saturday from noon till 3. Gonna do it for me. Mike Andrews, the heavy roller, playing all that sweet soca, humming like a new Bugatti. Look at this Trini, heavenly, having a one-man party. Come on, Nerissa, pelt some waist. Love that emotion on your face. Everybody happy when you're in the place and you smile like an angel's grace. Back it up. Let me see. I'm having a one-man party. I got some barra on the side, some black pudding already fried, some sauce, enough for me alone. I separate the meat from the bone. A whole case of Guinness and already I'm having a one-man party. Heavy roller. Play some old-time calypso, Raz Shorty I and Lord Brigo, some renegades, my long-time band, playing that sweet, sweet pan. I eat like a Trini, and I having a one-man party. Life is as sweet as can be. The heavy roller is a real Trini, jamming music to lighten the brain and the COVID strain. So I whining like crazy, and I'm having a one-man party.
Dang-a-dang-a-dang-a-dang. I like that one. Oh, a one-man party. Dang-a-dang-a-dang-a-dang-a-dang-a-dang-a-dang-a-dang-a-dang. Thank you, Victor. That was very sweet. Very nice indeed. I'm going to play some oldies as you requested, all right? So get your sauce and your Guinness. Having a one-man party. I'm coming!
Jessica, you ain't hear me calling. Jessica, this is Tuesday morning. Jessica, girl, you're making a big mistake. I can't wait until daybreak. I'm coming. Listen to this steel band beat. Hear them brass band sounding sweet. Listen to the DJ man, making woman shaking bam bam. I'm coming. Jessica, like you hear the rhythm. Sweet songs coming from the steel drum. All stars and invaders, desperados jamming. And all you say is you're coming. I'm coming. Listen to the steel band beat. Hear them brass band sounding sweet. Listen to the DJ man, making woman shaking bam bam. I'm coming. Darling, I feel the disco. Jump in the wheels and let's go. Let's go and do all them things we see on TV. And get the feel of the synthesizer rainbow. Come, let me join the people and rock with body. So we could get the feeling to get the sound vibrating your and how the music making you
To show it really is so. I see this teenage woman about 80 something. On top of roller skates, say she disco dancing. She doing she Ferris wheel and she disco splitting. I said this woman brave and she Why don't this woman behave? She Suppose she fall and break up, she change your feature. Your eyes get wild like tiger, and the rhythm beating down in your belly, and your eardrums bust, you can't hear nobody, and them spinning lights have you blind completely, and all you're hearing wrong you is you have to take this song and you this time you're getting down with your
Is day or night, I don't know.
Because it's heavy rock with me disco, baby. Daddy in the heights and me feeling groovy. Mr. DJ just play the
This tune so perfectly describes the days of disco. The 70s, the spinning lights, your afro, your platform shoes. You're clicking your fingers and bawling, ow, ow. Disco days, boy. Saturday Night Fever and Casey and the Sunshine Band. And you're in the disco. Your pretty shirt. Neon lights. Going to a party and the ultraviolet light shows up all the dandruff in your afro. No, that happened. I swear that happened. Went to a party and, they had those ultraviolet lights that showed up. People look weird in there. And this guy came in with an afro. And like the hair was full of dandruff, man. So the whole head was white with dandruff, and that showed up in all the lights. People was like just snickering and laughing at this man, Yeah, he had full of dandruff. I'll be back. Hold on here. I'm messing up myself.
A job's about a lot more than a paycheck. It's about your dignity. Under my plan, 50% of emergency small business relief would be reserved for the smallest businesses to recover from the economic mess we're in and to rebuild the economic future our country deserves. We can't just build back to what it was before. We have to build back better. If we truly want to reward the work in this country, we have to ease the financial burdens of care that families are carrying. To start, every 3- and 4-year-old child gets access to free high-quality preschool, and low- and middle-income families won't spend more than 7% of their income on child care for children under the age of 5, advancing racial equity across the American economy, building wealth for families of color, building a future worthy of their courage and their ambition. Just imagine if we could truly unleash their full potential. I'm confident we can do this.
I'm Joe Biden, candidate for president, and I approve this message. Paid for by Biden for president.
Jones Law Firm, attorney Dawn Grace Jones, serving the South Florida community in the areas of car accidents, slip and falls, any injury case where you suffer negligence through no fault of your own. Have you been injured at work? Also contact Dawn Grace Jones at Jones Law Firm. How? Go to law.dawngracejones.com. Call 954-451-1653. That's 954-451-1653. Jones Law Firm, Dawn Grace Jones.
I'm Desmond Meade, and I led the effort to restore voting rights to people with previous felony convictions. People like me. Let's be honest. How many times we've heard or said, "I die for mines," or "I fight for mines," when we talk about protecting our children's or loved ones? If you're willing to fight or die for the ones you love, why not be willing to vote for the one you love? This election, your life and the lives of your loved one hangs in the balance. Don't believe me? Ask the family of Ahmaud Arbery, George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, or Trayvon Martin. Early voting has started, and there is no time to wait. Come out and vote for yours, and join me as I vote for mine. I love my family, and they deserve my vote. Text FREE TV to 82623 to join me and other returning citizens on Saturday, October 24th, as we go to the polls to vote for our lives and our loved ones. This is our moment. This is our vote, and now it's our time.
Paid for advertisement paid for by Florida Rights Restoration Coalition. Project of Tides Advocacy. 4081 LB McLeod Road, Suite C, Orlando, Florida 32811. Independent of any candidate, not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee.
Justice, equality, accountability. These are the values we need in our leaders to bring us together and be the America we know we can be. Joe Biden and Kamala Harris are those leaders. Joe Biden has the experience to fix our broken economy. He's done it before, and he'll do it again. And our own Kamala Harris is ready to lead. As senator, she championed education, healthcare, criminal justice reform, and a just immigration policy. With Joe Biden and Kamala Harris in charge, we know the White House will be accountable to and work with our community for our well-being. For 4 years, our country has been failed by this administration's incompetence and corruption, but we have the chance to turn it around with values that are rooted in our common goals and shared humanity. Vote early for Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. Paid for by Black PAC and Unite the Country. BlackPAC.com and UniteTheCountry.com, which are responsible for the content of this advertising. Not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee.
Ring the alarm. Your vote is needed. Make your voice heard. Come out and vote today. No rain, heat, or turmoil should keep you from the polls. Join our 20 for 20 movement. Reach out to 20 friends and family and make sure they all vote. Let's make sure our voices are heard this election. Paid for by the new Florida Majority Fund.
221 WNMA Caribbean Connection Radio Show. And don't forget the family of Rosanna Taylor asking for your contribution towards the funeral expenses for Rosanna, who passed away on Tuesday. The funeral services will be taking place next week at Fred Hunter Funeral Home. The viewing is on Friday from 4 to 8 p.m. And the viewing is open to the public from 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. And the funeral service is on Saturday, November 7th from 3 p.m., which is closed to close friends and family. Now, they're seeking your donation towards the expenses of the funeral. It was a sudden passing, and they are seeking your assistance. You can donate in two ways. First, a trust fund has been set up with Fred Hunter's Funeral Home for those who would like to make a donation directly to the funeral home. You go to fredhunters.com and look for contract number. I guess you can put it by the name to Rosanna Taylor. But the contract number is 20H as in Henry 0890. That's 20H 0890. Or you can send a cash app to R.H. Taylor Memorial Fund. That's cash app R.H. Taylor Memorial Fund. All right. If you need more information, and I gave you the incorrect number earlier, the correct number is 305-904-4376. 305-904-4376. You can call for more information. All right. That's for Rosanna Taylor. Rosanna passed away this past Tuesday. All right. I have a pick-me-up song here for everyone. It's a song, I told you I use music a lot to pick me up. And we all need a little pick-up now and then, right? Some days are good, some days are bad, some days something happened. Some days you just Nothing happened, but you just want to pick me up. And I do that a lot with music. Here's a pick-me-up song. And I remember this song. Let me tell you this song. I remember this song in the 1978. Yeah, 1978. Or 77 or 78. And my good friend Elliot Skinner and I drove from New York to LA. Now that's a 3-day drive we were driving. And we didn't have iPod and thing at those times, so we were listening to radio along the way. And you drive across the country, and the musical tastes change depending on where you are. So sometimes you might hear urban music or pop music, and some areas just country, just my baby left me and she left me for another man. All right, country music, right? But there were a few songs out that were popular, and almost every station, almost every location we drove through were playing those songs. And this song is one of them that they were playing. And I remember we were singing this song as we drove along, and it was a wonderful drive. If you've never done a cross-country drive, do it. But anyway, here's a pick-me-up song I want to share with you. I want everybody to sing. I want everybody to pick themselves up. All right? And we were singing this song as we were driving along, strumming on the steering wheel. So sing this song. A lovely day, Bill Withers. When I wake up in the morning, love. Now you hear me, you sing it.
And the sunlight hurts my eyes, and something without warning, love, bears heavy on my mind. Then I look at you, and the world's alright with me. Just one look at you, and I know it's gonna be a lovely day. When the day that lies ahead of me seems impossible to face, when someone else instead of me always seems to know the way, then I look at you, and the world's alright with me. Just one look at you, and I know it's gonna be
a lovely day. Such a lovely day.
when the day that lies ahead of me
Seems impossible to face.
and when someone else instead of me
Always seems to find a way. Then I look at you, and the world's alright with me. Oh, just one look at you, and I know it's gonna be a lovely day. I used to hold a note, I used to hold that entire note all the way through. I can't do it now. I used to hold it. Bill Withers. Pick me up song for you on this Saturday afternoon. A lovely day. It's a lovely day in South Florida, a lovely day wherever you are. Rain, snow, or sun, it's a lovely day. My dedication to you on this Saturday afternoon. Just one look at you. Just one look at you. And I know it's going to be a lovely day. What a thing to tell someone you love, huh? Just one look at you and I know it's going to be a lovely day. All right. I come here on a Saturday and I have fun. I share my fun with you. Must be something in the music, right? Something in the music. Oh, na ni na 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 no. Di na ni na ni na 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 no. Na 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 no. Me na na di ba boy.
From Bridgetown to Madison, 'cause the arranger Nicholas Branca got the recipe for the raga soca in the country and the town. Raga soca got the whole place break down. Man, I tell ya, something in the music, something in the music, something in the music sounding oh so sweet. Something in the music, something in the music, something in the raga soca beat. Something in the music sounding sweet, sweet, creating heat. It's just like a special treat. Something in the music sounding sweet, sweet, something in the raga soca beat. Oh yeah, yeah. Raga soca, raga soca. The drum and the bass they up front and kicking. The guitar playing a steady rhythm. Then the percussion inside the middle. Not too much, you just need a little. A hook line, a simple refrain, and then the whole place it mashed down again. Man, I tell ya, something in the music, something in the music, something in the music sounding oh so sweet. Something in the music, something in the music, something in the raga soca beat. Something in the music sounding sweet, sweet, creating heat. It's just like a special treat. Something in the music sounding sweet, sweet, something in the raga soca beat. Hello, 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 hello. Hello, 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 hello. Yeah, yeah, yeah. She had the thing I love. Where she from, I don't know. Rock she waist and go low. Pick up the place like a dojo. So will you say, will you say, will you say? Pretty girl, will you come my way? What you do, what you do, what you do? I must get through. Girl, roll up now, you show me that wine. Turn around, girl, don't be shy. Hello, 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 hello. Yeah, so girl, I love how the way you blow my mind. Hold me tight and bring down wine. Hello, 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 hello. Love it. Are you ready? Are you ready for it? Are you ready? Are you ready for it? You want give me that? Don't hold back. Wind it up, ride it. Front to the back. No long chat, just come to me. I'll give you that sweet type of love. Sweet type of love. Come give me that sweet type of love. Real type of love. Hold me, darling. 'Cause whole night we jamming. Yeah, yeah, yeah. See, she sweet like a mango. She play the thing like a banjo. Them other girl, them don't know how she clap it
ting like a go-go, lad. So what you say, what you say, what you say? Sexy girl, when you come my way. What you do, what you do, what you do? I must get through. Girl, roll up now, you show me that wine. Turn around, girl, don't be shy. Hello, 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 hello. Yeah. So girl, I love how the way you blow my mind. Hold me tight and bring down wine. Hello, 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 hello. Lord, are you ready? Are you ready for it? Are you ready? Are you ready for it? You want give me that? No hold back. Wind it up, ride it. Front to the back. No long chat, just come to me and give you that sweet type of love. Oh, sweet type of love. Come give me that sweet type of love. Oh, real type of love. Hold me, darling. 'Cause whole night we jamming. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Dum, 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 dum. Oh, oh. Is that dum, 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 dum. Oh, oh. Is that oh, oh. Is that
You bring out the Trini in me. You bring out the Bajan in me. You bring out the Vinci in me. You bring in me. You bring in me. You bring out St. Lucia in me. Bring out the Antigua in me. You bring out Jamaica in me. You bring in me. You bring in me. Your Caribbean girl.
Is that you? Can't believe that is you. So long I see you. Give me a wine up. Give me a wine up. Give me the wine that I want. Long time, long time, long. So long I see you. Give me a wine up. Give me a wine up. And I will make up for all this time. Make up for all this time. Hey, look who. You know how long we already see you. It could have been about a year or two. Want to drink now, what we go do? Hey, long time. Been a while we have us a line. Nothing that changed, 'cause you still look fine. Look how you looking fine. I thought you hiding. I thought you went foreign. Look how things happen now. Look how things happen now. So let me hug up and squeeze you. I don't even want to leave you. I don't know when we'll bounce up again. So let me take a little thing until then. So long I see you. Give me a wine up. Give me a wine up. Give me the wine that I want. Long time, long time, long. So long I see you. Give me a wine up. Give me a wine up. And I will make up for all this time. Make up for all this time. It was just last week when I called your name. I did ask your friend and them. When last did I talk to you? So long I ain't talked to you. Go funny, you're in my sight. Didn't know you was here tonight. It looked like you're doing alright, like money running real nice. I thought you hiding. Doing foreign. Look how things happen now. Look how things happen now. So let me hug up and squeeze you. I don't even want to leave you. I don't know when we'll bounce up again. So let me take a little thing until then. So long I see you. Give me a wine up. Give me a wine up. Give me the wine that I want. Long time, long time, long. So long I see you. Give me a wine up. Give me a wine up. And I will make up for all this time. Make up for all this time, love. I'm glad to see you, my friend, from long time. Let we just take a wine. I wanna hold on together and rock away the whole night. And I'm glad to see you, my friend, from long ago. Don't even want to go. I wanna hold on together and rock away the whole night. So long I see you. Give me a wine up. Give me a wine up. Give me the wine that I want. Long time.
Nadia Batson there for you. So long. For that you heard. You heard Red Plastic Bag, Something in the Music. Kess with Hello. Hello, how are you? 237 WNMA Caribbean Connection Radio Show. Listener said, Mike, Mighty Sparrow's wax figure is in Barbados and Madame Tussauds in Berlin dumps Trumps in a dumpster. All right. You listeners are funny. Listener texting to me, and I was talking about holding the note, a lovely day at the end of Bill Withers Jr., Lovely Day. You say, Mike, the only way now you can hold a note is to write note on a paper and hold it. Oh, you're funny, boy. Oh, you're real funny. Write note on a paper and hold it. That's the only way you can hold a note, he said. All right, partner. All right, partner. Oh, you're cracking jokes. It's okay. Oh, that jokey boy. 2:30 is our time. Sarah, don't do that.
This one for you.
Imagination Brass. A little pace on the soca for this segment here. Little pace on the soca.
I'll be getting sugar for tea. Sarah bounce up on me. Shaking, she body can't touch it, she like a cassia tree. While up on the stage, Sarah has me in a rage. Love me on down beside she back. She ain't looking like a tiger cat. Sarah don't do that. Sarah don't do that. Sarah don't do that. You better stop. Sarah don't do that. Sarah don't do that. I say Lord, Sarah Lord. But she started to rock me so, and she won't let me go. She took me from head to toe, just rocking me to and fro. And in love, I could see Sarah was whining on me. And when I put up, she put up. And when I come up, she come up. And in love, I could see Lord, Sarah was whining on me. You know what? She with me old time girlfriend, come out Sarah again. Telling she that I ain't nobody. And using me she now to get she don't just imagine man. When they touch on ya in the land, he's small and he handsome yet to see. But he could lie like a chili. Sarah don't do that. Sarah don't do that. Sarah don't do that. You better stop. Sarah don't do that. Sarah don't do that. I say Lord, Sarah Lord. But she started to rock me so, and she won't let me go. She took me from head to toe. Reminiscing about old time school thing when we were playing in Trucking. Just one look, she said I've been too small, but when she feel the choke, Elizabeth start to ball. Small pin the stroke hard, small pin the stroke hard. Yes, ask Vera. Where I do she with me little pin, ask Nora. How I took she with me little pin, ask Vilna. Where I do she with me little pin, ask Kava. How I took she with me little pin. You should see them jump and sing when I choke them with my little pin. Small pin the stroke hard, small pin the stroke hard. Teacher Ruby, boy she Dixie, Styly Riley, I go fix she. Stand up teaching, I put down my pin. When she sit back down, the whole class start to sing. Small pin the stroke hard, small pin the stroke hard. Yes. Ask Mona, where do she with me little pin, ask Deidre. How I took she with me little pin, ask Rena. Where do she with me little pin, ask Wilma. How I took she with me little pin. You should see them jump and sing when I choke them with my little pin. Oh na na na, small pin the stroke hard, small pin the stroke hard. Huh.
Hey, today you're invited to come party with a purpose. Yeah, it's taking place today. There'll be steel band music, DJ music, and free food. Taking place today from 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. It's going to be at the South Dade Regional Library.
Sit on my pin when she feels this thing.
10750 Southwest 211th Street down in Cutler Bay. Party with a purpose. Come on out, wear your mask, and come party with a purpose from 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. Paid for by Biden and Harris campaign. Steel band music, DJ, and free food this evening from 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. Check it out. South Dade Regional Library.
You should see them jump and sing when I choke them with my little pin. Small pin the stroke hard. Small pin the stroke hard.
It was a hot night, it was a night of feeling, and we were in the mood. Sweet music playing, selections really rocking, she start behaving good. The way she whining, could tell she have a engine that really feel for speed. That was no problem, 'cause I'm a racing driver and I could handle speed. She had me swinging engine, swinging engine all night, swinging engine, swinging engine all night, swinging engine, swinging engine all night, swinging engine, swing she engine all night. Hiya! Now we are speeding, the engine really screaming, and I am pumping gears. Wearing my seatbelt, using gloves and my helmet, I'm driving with no fear. We start vibrating, now I hear some sharp knocking, should I ease off and on? Now I smell gasoline, with all this fire flying, the engine might blow up, but we still not ease up. Swinging engine all night, swinging engine all night, swinging engine all night, swinging engine, swing she engine all night.
Burning Flames out of Antigua. Antigua and Barbuda Independence is tomorrow. Happy Independence Day to my Antiguan friends, Barbudans. Happy Independence to you. St. Vincent was on October 27th, sorry. And then Dominica is on November 3rd. Happy Independence. Throwing in the gear here. Throwing in the gear as I head for the home turn. The home turn.
Moving to the left is the name of the song. Move back to the right and you'll never go wrong. Everybody, moving to the left. Hey, moving to the left. Everybody, moving to the right. Boy, moving to the right. Everybody, moving to the left. Hey, moving to the left. Everybody, moving to the right. Boy, moving to the right. Hear me now. Party time again. Where the sun or rain. And let me move to the left. Everybody, move to the left. We must all unite. Stop the fuss and fight. And let me move to the right. Everybody move to the right. It's time for action and celebration. Just jump around and party. Enjoy yourself, be merry. Look Monday and Tuesday. Be free to break away. Moving
This is one of those songs that we used to have so much fun with the songs. When the band sang it, or Nigel and company sang the song in a fete, and the whole fete was moving to the left. Oh man, this song used to be nice. You know, they have songs, instruction songs, Dollar Wine, Moving, and all those kind of things. And when you say moving to the left, and the whole dance floor would move to the left and then move to the right, and then down south and up north. Oh man, this used to be fun. This used to be fun. Remember those days? And this song is popular all over. You go on a cruise ship, and everybody is playing this song, moving, and all kind of people that never even probably heard Calypso before, they know this song, and they move to the left, and they move to the right, and they jump up, and oh man, this was nice. This was a nice song.
Even Miami, join up in the party. I see them move to the right. Everybody move to the right.
The most versatile show on the radio is the Caribbean Connection Radio Show with Mike Andrews.
You have me singing
911 emergency. 911 emergency.
I don't think I could handle all that, baby.
I don't think I could handle all of that, baby.
I don't think I could manage all that, baby. Tonight is your night. It's your world, baby. Do what you like. Why now you please, baby? Do what you want with me.
Double M. Yeah. Jump in the style of the rhythm like angle me, angle me, angle bang. What a da 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 bang. Angle me, angle me, angle bang. Have a little money in the pocket.
The cracking jokes on me today, boy. They say if you have to sing, you would starve. All right, partner. Look at I can take it, you know. I can take it. All the cracking jokes on me today. That's why I'm leaving now. That's why I'm leaving. That's why I'm going to sign off. Tired of the abuse all they're giving me. Till next week, folks. Have yourself a great and productive week. 3 more days. 3 more days. Hopefully next week we'll have a different tempo. I know most of my listeners are voting for Biden-Harris. I know that. So when I say hopefully next week we'll be in a different tempo, this means most of us will be happy and singing and prancing and so on. Let's see how it goes. Good luck. I'll catch you next week. Keep it locked here. 3 at 3 coming up next. Eddie Cleve and Jillian. Have yourself a safe and productive week. Continue to be vigilant against this COVID-19 virus. And if you haven't voted yet, go vote. Catch you next week. I had fun. I hope you did. Enjoy yourself. I'm out of here. Why not? Johnny King, boy, from Zion Hill in Bell Garden, and Ziggy Rankin.
I'm getting a strange feeling, a sick feeling, pervading my body. And every passing day, it won't go away until me steady. Doctors ain't have a clue. The antidote is you, the only remedy. You are the cure, baby. I'm sure, baby, something telling me. Yeah, I want to share my life with you. Why don't you make my dreams come true? I want to give you all my love. Honey, you're all I'm dreaming of. Why not? Soften your heart, why not? Let the love start, why not? Consider me, why not? Heal me, why not? Soften your heart, why not? Let the love start, why not? Consider me, why not? Heal me,
Whenever I think of you, I get the flu, headaches and fever.
Yeah.
Even the old man cannot understand what is the matter. Nothing ain't going right. It's only sleepless nights and misery. Only your lovely curves can soothe my nerves. Why not let it be?
Let it be.
I wanna share my life with you. Why don't you make my dreams come true? I wanna give you all my love. Honey, you all I'm dreaming of. Why not? Soften your heart. Why not? Let the love start. Why not? Consider me. Why not? Heal me.
Why not? Soften your heart, why not? Let the love start, why not? Consider me, why not? Heal me,
I get you off my mind. I spend all my time anticipating.
Ooh, Lord, one day I'll take you home. We'll be all alone, loving and sharing. Yeah,
I see you in my dreams as my only means to carry on.
oh Lord, although my hope is fading, I'm still hoping you come along. Yeah, baby.
I want to share my life with you. Why don't you make my dreams come true? I want to give you all my love. Honey, you all I'm dreaming of.
Why not?
Soften your heart.
Why not?
Let the love start.
Why not?
Consider me.
Why not?
Heal me. Heal me.
Why not?
Heal me.
Soften your heart.
Why not? Heal me.
Let the love start. Why not?
The preceding program was paid for by Caribbean Connection Enterprises.
You, baby.
WNMA, Miami Springs, Miami, and Fort Lauderdale. This is 1210 The Man and 1210theman.com. 1210 AM. The Man brings the islands to you with Caribbean Saturdays. Each and every Saturday, starting at 9 a.m. with the musical Don Daly, and the Caribbean Upliftment Show at noon. We're connecting you to the heavy roller, Mike Andrews, and the Caribbean Connection Show. Then, feel the rhythm inside Caribbean Rhythm with the 3 at 3, Eddie, Clee, and Jillian. Feel the island vibes with Caribbean Saturdays on 1210 AM.
The following program was paid for by CRI Communications.
Eddie, Clee, and Jillian.
All the hits and more.